All right, y'all, let's get you fixed up with your Wednesday morning commute. Once again, looking a lot better coming in from South Austin. It's not going fast, but it's not at a complete stop. But I will tell you, they're about to clear out that incident at Slaughter Lane. So like I said, seeing some improvements there in the northbound lanes. We got a little bit of car trouble here and there, but that incident at Bluff Springs is really our major hiccup of the morning. And once again, they were able to get that traffic light fixed up in Bee Cave off that Y area, looking a lot better right now. Grace, what do you have for us today?
All right, well, some of us could be surprised by a shower or thunderstorm later on this afternoon. Be thinking about that same forecast for tomorrow as well. And then we head into a very hot stretch as we shift towards this weekend. And Tuesday, y'all, that's July 1st. Halfway through the year.
Craziness.
Halfway through. How about that? And then the 4th.
And then the
4th of July. What is that, a week from Friday?
Typically comes up.
4th of July, we got like 99 in the forecast right now. So
It won't be bad, right?
pretty cool.
Wouldn't expect anything less. Oh, you said jump in the water. The water we do have.
See you on Daybreak Plus in just 3 minutes.
Continue with us and watch free now on the KVUE Plus app everywhere you stream.
hour once again. Thanks for joining us for Daybreak Plus on KVUE Plus, streaming for free, of course, on your television. I'm Brian Mays.
And hey, at least it's Wednesday. We are halfway through this work week, and I'm Hannah Rucker. Grace is also joining us today. How you doing?
I'm good.
You're good?
I'm starting to hit a wall a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you have 2 cups of coffee or just 1?
I had 2, actually. I had
Nice.
2 cups of coffee before the 4:30 start.
That's the way to do it.
I was really up and running today.
Are you straight coffee, or do you throw a little sugar and cream in there?
I just need a little
Yeah, a
sugar
little
and
softened
cream.
up a little
Yeah.
bit. I hear you.
Hannah does just the straight
Black.
coffee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pour it right in, huh?
Oh,
There
yeah,
you go.
just the straight mud, man. That's my stuff. You
Straight
gotta
mud.
fuel in the tank. Off we go.
There was a little mud around Central Texas yesterday.
So right. You're so
Thinking
right.
of the rain we got around here, right?
Yeah, we may see some more mud today, especially
Uh-oh.
if you're going to hang out in Zilker Park, or even look up towards Round Rock this morning. How beautiful it looks with the sun rising there. We're starting to see temperatures warm up just a touch as we head into our Wednesday here. 73 degrees at the airport, 75 at Camp Mabry. We've got very high humidity across the area, so it does feel quite muggy as you step out the door this morning. But satellite and radar showing that we're not seeing much rainfall, really any rainfall at all here in our area. What you see over towards LaGrange, don't think any of that is actually reaching the ground just yet. However, some of this rainfall will reach the ground a little bit later on into our day. So as we shift into the midday and afternoon hours, you can see this disturbance making its way onshore right now from the Gulf of Mexico onward to the shores of Texas here. That's going to be moving towards central Texas a little bit later on today. It's going to continue to weaken as it does so not all of us are going to see that rain this afternoon, but of course we've got that chance just like we had yesterday. So for our Wednesday, we're looking at high temperatures in the lower 90s mostly. I think with more cloud cover this afternoon and those rain chances, we're actually going to see some lower temperatures, so that actually will feel maybe a little bit better for you guys out there as well. You can see what we are expecting along the I-35 corridor and our heat index, that pesky little heat index. We are going to be feeling like 102 at the peak of this afternoon. So if you don't see any rain, make sure that you have a way to stay hydrated. All right, Hannah, how's it going out there?
Yeah, it's been a crazy week because I feel like the East Coasters are kind of getting a taste of what it feels like here in Texas, and they do not like it. But we've got summer loading in fast, and it is 7:03. And once again, seeing some improvements coming in from South Austin. A little bit earlier, we were at a complete standstill, so we like to see this. We've got some flow again, and seeing that good movement on the frontage road as well. So they're clearing out that incident at Slaughter, but unfortunately, we do have a new separate incident that sounds like it is just impacting frontage road travel. And that is northbound, not too far from Cesar Chavez there, and that near First Street as well. So kind of seeing those delays on that frontage road. But once again, main lane travel for that one is not being impacted. Let's go ahead and see. Yep, they cleared out that stalled vehicle if you were heading out to beautiful New Braunfels today. Looking quiet through San Marcos and pretty quiet through North Austin as well. We can deal with this. We've got a stalled vehicle. Someone's working that at Howard Lane, and then coming in from North Austin, not too shabby either. They got that traffic light back up and running again at RM 620, so all clear on 71 if you're coming and going from there. And the 130 toll road out in Georgetown is looking better compared to earlier. Pretty sleepy out in the hill country, just the way we like it. And heading eastbound, maybe heading out to Houston today through Smithville or Giddings, nice and quiet for y'all as well.
Hannah, thank you very much. Austin police looking for the person who shot and killed a 29-year-old man at a gas station in southeast Austin. APD will give more information about this shooting later this morning. Happened back on Sunday near Wickersham Lane and South Pleasant Valley Road in Austin. Police say they found a 29-year-old man, Keaton Delacour, shot in the neck in the parking lot of the gas station there on Wickersham around 12:30 Sunday morning. When first responders arrived at the scene, they found Delacour bleeding there on the ground in the parking lot. He was taken to the hospital where he died later on. Investigators say a man approached Delacour. There was some kind of interaction, and then the unknown man shot him in the Apple Mart parking lot and then left the area. We'll again hear from police today about 11:30 this morning. There's a $1,000 reward for information leading to an arrest in that case. The ACLU is planning to sue Texas over a new education law that centers on parental rights. Governor Greg Abbott signed Senate Bill 12 into law over the weekend. Among other things, it bans diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI, in K through 12 schools. KVUE's Daniel Perot explains the legal challenges and why supporters believe the law will survive them.
The ACLU says it will challenge the constitutionality of Senate Bill 12. Emily Witt with the Texas Freedom Network says the new state law is discriminatory and one of the most extreme education laws in the country.
It's going to be really hard to make sure that it's enacted in every single district in the same way.
While critics say it hurts marginalized groups, supporters like Jonathan Covey with Texas Values say Senate Bill 12 strengthens parental rights.
Parents will make the best decisions for their kids, not schools, not bureaucrats, not political activists.
Senate Bill 12 bans schools from using DEI in hiring and training, requires parents to opt their children into sex education, bans clubs that have to do with gender identity and sexual orientation, and prevents schools from helping students with gender transitions.
It essentially means that administrators and educators have to out LGBTQ students to their parents and family.
The bill's author, State Senator Brandon Creighton, says he's confident the bill will withstand legal challenges.
It's based upon solid and clear Supreme Court precedent.
Supporters of the bill say classrooms should focus on core academic instruction, not ideological agendas.
The government's job is to provide a content neutral educational environment where no one feels discriminated against.
Critics say Senate Bill 12 takes away safe spaces for marginalized students, leaving them feeling without community and support.
We're making them feel that they can't be honest and open about who they are, and that's dangerous for kids.
The new law is set to take effect on September 1st. Public schools will have to implement it starting in the 2026-2027 school year. In Austin, Daniel Perot, KVUE News.
Daniel, thanks a lot. Several school districts are starting to let families know about a new law going into effect in September. Governor Greg Abbott signed House Bill 1481 into law. It bans students from using cell phones during the school day. House Bill 1481 also requires school districts to confiscate the phone and establish discipline methods if students don't follow this policy. According to the bill's author, Representative Caroline Fairley of Amarillo, she says communication devices in Texas schools pose a threat to student learning, safety, mental health, and overall school environment. Already, schools in Central Texas are updating policies ahead of the upcoming school year. Del Valle ISD says they're developing strict guidelines to comply with that law and will share more information on storage procedures and any exceptions to the policy before the school year begins in August. They also added that students would always be able to contact family in an emergency. LaGrange, Lago Vista, Lockhart ISDs posting similar messages about House Bill 1481. Lockhart ISD leaders say they've developed consequences for students that don't follow the policy. First time caught with a phone in Lockhart, it'll be confiscated with a $15 fine. Then in-school suspension. Then the student will be banned from bringing a phone to school property at all. Finally, a discretionary DAEP placement. The districts haven't specified yet what the consequences would be for other school districts here in the state. You know, junk fees have become very costly in everyday life, but a new rule, a federal rule, targets some of the worst offenders. Consumer Reports recently broke down what this could mean for your wallet and how you can avoid junk fees.
Let me tell you about what happened on my honeymoon.
Travel agent Shay Martin recently told her social media followers about the $600 resort fee that caught her by surprise on her honeymoon a few years ago.
I just wanted to share that and let people know that it's something to look out for. And I did call out that it has started to change.
That change is thanks to a new FTC rule in effect. It requires full price transparency for hotels, short-term lodging, and live event tickets. So you'll know the total price before booking, making it easier for consumers to avoid surprises.
Americans are sick and tired of getting hit with hidden fees that jack up prices and take a big bite out of their wallets. This is a big step in the right direction, but much more needs to be done.
That's because the FTC rule only addresses a small piece of a much bigger problem. Hidden fees are still everywhere, and Consumer Reports estimates the average family of four spends about $3,200 a year on junk fees.
These added costs hit hardest for families living paycheck to paycheck, especially in low-income communities.
Consumer Reports has some tips to stay ahead of some of those sneaky fees. Take flights, for example. You can sometimes avoid extra charges by booking directly through the airline or a trusted travel agent and using the airline's app to check in. Renting a car? You might be able to bring your own toll responder to avoid extra charges. Just check that it works in your destination and that your state allows you to use it in a rental. Food delivery apps are another place where hidden fees sneak in. To potentially avoid them, order directly from the restaurant, pick it up yourself, and pay cash. Some restaurants add a 2 to 3% fee when you pay with a credit card. And when banking, switching to a low-fee or online bank and using in-network ATMs can save you from unnecessary charges. Smart moves to keep more money in your wallet.
Now, with more consumers paying bills automatically and online, those extra charges can go unnoticed at times. That's why they say it's important to check your statements regularly. Well, the state's power grid operator is predicting record power demand in Texas this summer. During yesterday's board meeting, ERCOT officials predict peak usage at 87.5 gigawatts. That's nearly 2 gigawatts higher than the current record that was set 2 years ago. ERCOT's CEO points to more people moving here and big businesses coming here, like data centers. One energy expert at UT says the predicted peak's not as high as it could have been.
We saw even more peak demand growth in prior years, especially running up between 2021 and 2023. And since then, peak load has slowed a little bit because we've been managing the peak better because of batteries or storage or because of things we can turn off, flexible loads.
ERCOT also predicts a lower risk of outages this summer thanks to more solar and battery storage added since last year.
And the FBI is now shifting thousands of agents away from deportations and back to cyber threats and counterterrorism efforts in the wake of the airstrikes in Iran. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has more.
This morning, the FBI is preparing to reassign thousands of agents away from immigration enforcement to focus instead on counterterrorism and cyber threats. Sources say the move was accelerated by U.S. strikes on Iran. It comes as federal officials announced the arrest of 11 Iranian nationals in the U.S., some with criminal records or suspected terror ties. Homeland Security says one of those men, Rivar Karimi, was carrying an Iranian Army ID card at the time of his arrest in Alabama.
It is mandatory to serve at least 2 years. I think it is, maybe 3. In their country.
Karimi's wife, who's 7 months pregnant, says her husband has no criminal history. She says he entered on a K-1 visa intended for foreign nationals who are engaged to American citizens. But ICE officers said they never completed the legal process to adjust his status after they were married. For now, Karimi remains in ICE custody pending removal proceedings.
I just want to see him thrive and build the life that he has dreamed of having. And I just pray that the immigration judge sees that and gives him the opportunity to be who he dreams of being.
Meanwhile, a massive immigration detention center is set to open in Florida, deep in the Everglades, dubbed Alligator Alcatraz. The facility will eventually hold 5,000 undocumented migrants. Critics are raising concern about the environmental impact, but Florida's Attorney General highlighted the benefits of the isolated location.
People get out, there's not much waiting for them other than alligators and pythons. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide.
Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
And in Frisco, a teenager was formally indicted on a murder charge for stabbing another student at a high school track meet. This has been a big story across Texas. If convicted, Carmelo Anthony could face anywhere from 5 to 99 years in prison. He's accused of stabbing to death 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at the track meet back in April. Anthony claims he acted in self-defense. Both sides say a trial will bring the full truth to light.
We expect that when the full story is heard, the prosecution will not be able to rule out the reasonable doubt that Carmelo Anthony may have acted in self-defense.
But let's remember that the justice system works best when it moves with steadiness and principle. That's what we're committed to, and that's what this case deserves.
The victim's father released a statement yesterday saying while he looks forward to the upcoming trial, it won't bring his son back. We'll continue to follow this case as it unfolds in North Texas. And it's been weeks and Austin police have not found the driver responsible for hitting an Austin ISD teacher with their car, then leaving him behind. We do want to warn you, video of the crash itself may be hard to watch. So Benjamin Slamka has been a teacher at McCallum High School for 2 years, But on June 7th, here it is, things changed when an SUV hit him and he was riding on his bike on East 53rd and Half Street near Airport Boulevard. Investigators say he was on the crosswalk while the walk sign was on.
Sorry, I had really large, bright headlight on the front of my bike. I mean, I don't know how the guy didn't see me. And he was pulling out to make a left to go north on Airport. And I'm getting close. I'm like, he sees me. And then I'm like, oh, he doesn't see me. It was too late.
Police say the driver left and didn't call 911. Slamka suffered a concussion and may now need shoulder surgery. He says he can't work a second job and it's hitting him hard financially. Police say they've run out of leads, but if any new tips come in, they'll reopen the case. Now to a new report on what went wrong before a door flew off a Boeing 737 mid-air last year. Investigators saying there's plenty to blame to go around. ABC's Andrea Fujii has the details.
This morning, the NTSB slamming Boeing and the FAA over safety failures that led to a terrifying mid-air incident.
Frankly, it's nothing short of a miracle that no one died.
This was the scene last year when a defunct emergency exit door ripped off an Alaska Airlines flight thousands of feet above Oregon. The cause? A door plug that was improperly bolted back onto the plane after routine work to replace rivets on the 737. Now the NTSB confirms Boeing is to blame, calling out poor practices at the company and oversight failures by the FAA.
An accident like this does not happen because of an individual or even a group of individuals. An accident like this only happens when there are multiple system failures.
According to the NTSB, Boeing's failure to provide adequate training, guidance, and oversight meant workers could not correctly comply with its parts removal process, meaning nobody made sure the door bolts that were removed were ever put back in. Officials still don't know who took out those bolts in the first place. The only person who knew how to properly replace them was reportedly on vacation when the plane was being repaired.
So we don't know who opened the door and closed the door.
The NTSB is also using the incident to renew calls for the FAA to ban infants from sitting on adults' laps during flights. A passenger on the Alaska Airlines flight says she feared her baby would be sucked out of the plane when that door came off. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
All right, tonight is the night the NBA will welcome in the next generation of talent.
That's right. The NBA draft begins tonight. The Dallas Mavericks have the first overall pick. Unless they really screw this thing up, they're going to take Cooper Flagg from Duke. That's right. They've got a history, right, in the last few months of screwing things up. The San Antonio Spurs, they're pick number 2. They're projected to take Dylan Harper. He's really good. Played at Rutgers this past season. Former Longhorn, that's him, Trey Johnson. They're saying he could go in the top 10, maybe number 8 to the Brooklyn Nets. I think the Nets have about 6 picks in the first round. Rockets don't have a first-round pick because it was traded to the Suns as part of the Kevin Durant deal. Of course, that's a pretty good trade for Houston. You can watch the first round of the NBA draft. It starts at 7 o'clock right here on KVUE.
It's going to be interesting, and the last Longhorn to be drafted in the top 10 was Kevin Durant. Trey Johnson recently told the KVUE sports team that he worked out with KD this offseason, and a key takeaway, make every ounce of energy count.
Just from the workout, I could tell that it wasn't a lot of just running around going full speed like the whole time. He was going full speed, but it was just through every rep he did, I would say. It wasn't just he was running back to spots and everything like that. He'll take his time in between and just go make sure he maximizes every rep so he's getting better.
9 Texas players have been picked in the top 10.
Spurs fans confident the team's going to take Dylan Harper, so much so an artist known as Soup painted a full mural of Harper. Look at that already in San Antonio.
Ooh.
I seen it on Instagram. They got the little mural right by the food spot. I seen that. It was on my tags.
How does that make you feel?
Man, fans is crazy because nothing's even set in stone yet. But I mean, that's what the fans want. I mean, I can't steer them and say no. So I mean, it's just very surreal.
Now, Dylan's dad, you might remember, is five-time NBA champion Ron Harper. Ron was a point guard on those Bulls teams from the 1990s. They won 6 championships. He was part of many of those. I do want to correct something we had earlier. Kevin was the number 2 overall pick. That was back in 2007. Since then, DJ Augustine was the 9th overall pick. Tristan Thompson went 4th back in 2011. Mo Bamba, we remember him. He's got a song named after him. He was the 6th overall pick. The very next year, Jackson Hayes went 8th. So Texas has had a lot of top 10 picks in the last 20 years or so, and expect Trey Johnson to be one of those tonight. He'll probably be in the top 7 or 8 picks.
I'm excited to see what happens.
A lot of money.
A lot of money to be talking about.
Who's your NBA team? I know you're a Ravens fan, but you don't have an NBA
The
team.
Washington Wizards.
How can you cheer for Baltimore in football and Washington in basketball? How does that work?
Baltimore doesn't have a basketball
I know, but aren't they? You hate the Commanders,
maybe
right?
the Philly's not too far by, so maybe 76ers.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't know. I had a lot of fun watching Timothy Chalamet
On the Knicks?
court.
Yeah.
And Kylie Jenner, much love to them. But
That's okay. I think everybody can
don't
cheer
know.
for the Knicks, right?
I have a little bit of a gripe with basketball just in general.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Oh, boy.
I hate 7-game series.
Oh, me too. Too many. I'm with you on that.
It just keeps on going on, and just like Daybreak Plus. No, I'm kidding. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes. We're going to do a quick cut in, and then we will be right here. Good morning, everyone. We are taking a live look out across the area. It is 7:23, and we've already been seeing some delays really in the last hour in the northbound lanes because of a crash near Slaughter. One lane blocked, but once again, seeing some improvements out there, but it's just kind of been stop and go, as we know, for the last hour or so. The good news is that frontage road looking pretty clear. If you just want to ride that thing northbound into the downtown area, wouldn't blame you. But you can definitely see we've got some other things popping up here on top of a little bit of car trouble out there. So here's that backup I'm showing you there. So that cleared out, and then we had a separate crash approaching the downtown area. That has also cleared up, but still seeing a little bit of that slowdown coming in from there. And then we actually have a new incident that just popped up as well, a couple. I will say we've got this incident over here just west of the 130 toll road, causing some slowdowns off Howard Lane at Tarlin Street. All right, Grace, what are we tracking today on this?
Well, things aren't going to be that much different than what we've seen the past couple of days. Of course, you can see some clouds over downtown right now. We're going to see a mix of sun and clouds as we head through the first half of the day, and then the second half of the day, we will be watching for some of those rain chances out there. 73 degrees at the airport, 75 at Camp Mabry. These temperatures have really been stagnant for the first half of this morning. As we're heading into the next hour here, we are starting to track just a teensy bit of rain off towards the very far east there. Actually, more rain on the way. Some other portions of the United States also seeing rain this morning. El Paso has gotten a lot of rain the past couple of days. If you got friends and family in West Texas, they are certainly expecting more rain over the next couple of days, so beware for flash flooding. As for the East Coast, we are seeing those hot temperatures once again, probably record-breaking this afternoon.
Central Texas, and thanks so much for hanging out with us here on KVUE Plus. I'm Hannah Rucker to 723.
Yes, and I'm Malia Masamoto.
Good to have you here.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Well, it's been hot, and between the heat, humidity, and the sun, summer weather can be really tough on your skin, but it's a good time to reevaluate your skincare routine.
Oh, I was thinking the humidity could just be the routine.
Yeah.
Okay. So dermatologist Dr. Shipley Ketakarpal with Cleveland Clinic says certain products like retinoids can make skin more sun sensitive.
We know in the summertime, a lot of things happen to our skin. We're exposed to the sun. Some medications can make our skin a little bit more sensitive to the sun. So it's important for certain things like, if you're using a retinoid or whether it's over-the-counter prescription, those can actually thin the top layer of our skin and make us more sensitive to the sun.
Some great advice there, and a broad spectrum sunscreen with at least SPF 30 is a must. Don't forget to reapply every 2 hours. And if you use a moisturizer, keep it light and apply only once a day. Also wash your face with a gentle cleanser and consider adding an antioxidant serum. And if your skin isn't improving or getting worse, you should see a dermatologist.
Good tips. Sunscreen every single morning, for
Yes.
sure.
You grew up in California, so you know.
Yeah, but I was bad about it when I was little, so now I've been really trying to get on it, especially with the Texas heat, because it wasn't as bad there. I thought, oh, it's not super hot, it's fine.
Yeah,
It's
that UV
cloudy.
can sneak up on you.
The clouds can be even more damaging, which is crazy. Well, we're dealing with the summer heat, and one Connecticut business is keeping things literally cool, no matter how high the temperatures climb.
For one business, ice isn't just a way to beat the heat, it's really a way of life. Jim Altman shows us a very cool job in Connecticut.
So what is the coolest job in Connecticut, or for that matter, the country this time of year? Well, for that, you have to come to Cheshire, where there is always at least a snowball's chance.
We have an extreme heat warning in effect for just about all of the state.
Temperatures reaching record highs.
And we're looking at high temperatures around the triple digits.
It is a relentless run of heat and humidity.
We're looking for heat indices about 100 to 110.
But at this Cheshire business, through the summer sizzle,
Come on, guys, let's go chill out.
a cold reality.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
This week at Ice Matters, there's no thinking outside of the box. There's only thinking inside of it.
For all the detailing, I will use a die grinder.
This is Matt in the box. And while Matt drills, owner Bill Kovitz chills.
Ice Matters is a full-time ice carving company. We do carvings for weddings, banquets, and country clubs.
It's a welcome grind. Both work inside an 18 by 18 studio, topping out around 22 degrees.
Summer is great in here, Winter, not so much, but yeah, I love it in here in the summer. It's a unique job.
Coming from such extremes with the humidity and the sun and then walking in there, once you acclimate and you cool off a bit and the cold gets into your suit, it is glorious. I could sit in there all day long and keep going. It is the best place to be on a hot day like today.
During a heat wave with compressors going and fans blowing, the atmosphere here is electric to the nth degree.
I don't like talking about it too much, but in the summer it's around $2,000 a month.
And as always in here, the forecast remains clear and cold.
Our job's really special because we're in the happy business. It's temporary art that leaves a lasting impression.
And the works here are incredible. If you want to see a gallery of them, we have a link at fox61.com and on our Fox 61 News app. In Cheshire, where it's just about 22 degrees. Jim Altman, Fox 61.
22 degrees. Okay.
They're freaking out on the East Coast, man. It's hilarious, but I love it. That's
Yeah.
You have to have a steady hand to do that.
Oh, I don't know how they do all the different designs. So intricate with an ice. How does it not just fall apart? I don't know.
Yeah, and you've been cold in this room today. Can you imagine? You're shivering. I like it
so
cold.
cold in that room.
What's a fun summer job that you worked?
Okay, so I've done babysitting like my whole life growing up when I was little. So I take the kids to the park, do all that kind of stuff. And then I worked at Nordstrom for one summer.
I can tell. You've always been our fashionista.
It was actually really fun, but it was bad for me because I would buy a lot of the clothes because it's a good discount. So
the discounts.
That was a good summer job.
I did that at Forever 21, but I also worked at a fried chicken restaurant in Dallas. It's called Babes.
Oh,
wait, you went to SMU?
Yeah,
so,
I've never heard of Babes.
Oh, it's in Carrollton. It's delicious, but anyways, it got pretty hot in there, so I would hide in the back ice room for
frying
that.
chicken in a Texas summer sounds insane.
I went home smelling like grease every day. All right, Grace, what's a fun summer job that you worked?
Oh, you know, I've just been thinking about them over here. What can I say?
What is it?
I would say the most summertime one was Joe's Crab Shack, and I'm from the Eastern Shore where crabs are a really big thing in the summertime. And yeah, I came home smelling like Old Bay every day, and butter.
That's good.
But I did get some free meals out of it, so that's okay. All right, let's track the tropics today. I know yesterday, kind of an exciting day because we got our first named storm, but we already are seeing that storm fade away. So post-tropical storm Andrea here, that is expected to lower down really to only 30 miles per hour as of 9 a.m. today. So we're not too far away from that, and we don't have any other tropical sort of systems that we're tracking either. However, we do have our Atlantic hurricane names list here, so want to remind y'all that the next name on the list is going to be Barry, and Andrea actually formed a little bit later than average in the Atlantic this year, and again, that's a fish storm, not expected to really impact too many people. Really what's going on here in the United States this late in the season is going to be the heat. So we've got heat alerts all across Cincinnati, down through Memphis, Mississippi River, really all of those areas impacted by this. Raleigh, Washington, up towards New York, extreme heat warning for today. You can see that heat risk potential out towards Washington, New York, all in the extreme category. That goes for the Ohio River Valley as well. For tomorrow, things get a little bit better, but it's still going to be quite hot across the East Coast.
They can barely handle it, can they? But you know what? I don't blame them. They're not used to it, and it can be tough out there. You know what can also be tough? When you're stuck on I-35 in two different areas in South Austin and North Austin. Just trying to get out the door, you know, and we're feeling that right now. So on the left side of your screen, here is a backup heading into the northbound lanes coming in from North Lamar. And then we are also feeling that in the northbound lanes if you are coming in from South Austin. And we've got a pretty colorful map here. So let's get into some of the details here. So that crash from earlier has cleared up at Slaughter, but I feel like anytime there's a crash in that area, the remnants of everything, it just takes a while for them to fully open up those lanes. So still seeing those backups there. And then as you're traveling up north here over Lady Bird Lake, we had a crash near Cesar Chavez. That's cleared up. Still seeing some delays there. And then let's talk about some of the backups going on. We've got a stalled vehicle causing some slowdowns in the southbound lanes and then kind of slowing things down in the northbound lanes as well, because a lot of people tend to just stop and try to take a look around at what's going on. So we've got a developing situation there just north of Walnut Forest. And then let's pop over here. We also have a delay southbound on 183 coming in from Jollyville. So we're feeling some delays there as well at Riata Trace Parkway and Research. So definitely a very active map as we are heading out the door. But that's just another day traveling across Central Texas. So let's talk about ticks. Do you want to talk about ticks?
Ooh, no, I'm scared of them. Actually, let me say, a bug jumped on me as I was walking into work today, and I don't know what it was, but it was making a chirping noise.
Was it a cicada?
I don't know, but it was on my leg, and it was so scary.
Was it singing you a morning symphony?
Yeah, it's in the newsroom somewhere. I'm so sorry to everyone.
Were you screaming at the top of your lungs?
Yes. It was the first thing I did when I walked in. Everyone goes, "Good morning, Malia."
You're screaming at everyone. Do you feel like in Texas, though, there is more bugs from growing up in California?
We don't have bugs like that here. So different. I've never seen a bug like that.
The bugs are on the surfboard enjoying life. Okay, guys. So here's the thing, though. A bite from a tick could lead to developing an allergy to red meat.
So wild. Melissa Dawn has more on the research that shows more ticks could be spreading it. Uh-oh.
Imagine taking a bite of your favorite burger and then you suddenly have trouble breathing, your lips swell up, and maybe you even start vomiting. A new study suggests this is a reaction to red meat you shouldn't ignore. It could be symptoms of alpha-gal syndrome, an allergic reaction to a sugar found in red meat that's triggered by a tick bite. Cases have been rising steadily since 2010. Originally linked to Lone Star ticks, a new CDC research study now indicates that other tick species can also trigger alpha-gal. Researchers aren't sure why some tick bites lead to a meat allergy, but they warn that the response can sometimes be so severe it becomes life-threatening. If you suspect you might have gotten alpha-gal from a tick bite, stop eating red meat and contact your doctor immediately. There's no cure yet for this strange allergy, but avoiding trigger foods can keep it under control. Your best bet is prevention. Stay covered up, wear bug spray, and do a tick inspection after spending time outdoors. With this Medical Minute, I'm Melissa Dawn.
Well, if you're bitten by a tick, they say to remove it with tweezers as soon as possible. Clean the bite area with rubbing alcohol or soap and water, and call a healthcare provider if you develop a rash, fever, muscle pain, or joint swelling. That's crazy. I don't know about this.
Some good advice. Just carefully pluck it off of you, kind of like you did this morning. No, I'm kidding.
I did a little bit of a fling, so I don't know if I did.
You did a cowboy kick out the window.
Get off, yeah. Well, Texas Parks and Wildlife wants your opinion on a new license plate design showing a horned lizard. Okay, this is interesting. It's celebrating the 25th anniversary of Texas's conservation license plate program. The horned lizard license plate has generated more than $5 million actually to help protect native Texas wildlife. Okay, that is really sweet that it does that. But
I kind of like the one in the middle, I think.
A little guy. But okay, as someone from SMU, a Mustang, it seems too close to a TCU horned frog. That's what's throwing me off a little bit.
And you know what the horned lizards remind me of is the movie Holes and that little creature. I think those are based on those. And
are they really? Is that what those are?
I think, well,
okay, those
I think the ones in the movie are fake, right? But they're kind of based off the horned toads, I think.
The horned toads.
But I will say our Texas license plates now, they're just black and white. They're kind of boring. They used to be beautiful. We used to have bluebonnets all over them. And I'm like, I
they
don't know.
should bring that back.
I know.
Bluebonnets would be pretty.
Yeah, I'm like, why are they so boring now? So I'd be fine with and some barbecue.
Put a piece of meat and some bluebonnets.
And a little horned toad off to the side.
Yeah. Well, after losing nearly everything in a house fire, one Mississippi teen got a big surprise from his baseball hero.
Oh, what started with heartbreak turned into a heartwarming show of support. ABC's Danny New has a story.
We heard about the terrible news about the fire at your house.
After a devastating few weeks, one thing that can help a little
Are you kidding me? That's awesome.
is a care package from your favorite baseball player.
My eyes widened and I was like, oh my gosh.
To clarify, 14-year-old Aaron Campbell's favorite player,
and there's another rocket,
is three-time MVP Mike Trout of the Los Angeles Angels.
Yes.
Even growing up playing Little League in Mississippi, Aaron's teammates all jokingly called him Mike Trout.
It must be nice to be called Mike Trout as a nickname.
And a few years ago, when Aaron and his father, Michael, started building this gigantic collection of signed baseball memorabilia together, we know whose autograph he wanted the most. They eventually flew to California, and before a game, Aaron went for it.
And I was like, well, might as well shoot my shot. So
Mike Trout came over and signed his baseball, but sadly, as you heard earlier, that ball and most of their collection are now gone. On Mother's Day, the battery of the family's golf cart overheated in the garage, and Michael says they lost almost everything in that fire.
He's been amazing through all of it, and I was like, man, what can I do just to maybe bring a smile back to his face?
So one late, sleepless night, he reached out to the Angels beat writer for The Athletic, Sam Blum, to see if he could reach the team.
we told Mike Trout about what happened as well, and he wanted to help.
Well, a few weeks later, a signed Mike Trout jersey arrived from the team with his regards. But wait, there's more. Michael also posted in a Facebook group of fellow collectors, and those folks got the attention of the Atlanta Braves, their favorite team. Soon, packages with memorabilia started arriving from both the Braves organization and members of the Facebook group. One of them even sent Aaron this baseball signed by all-time Braves legend, Hank Aaron.
When you saw that, what did you think?
I was speechless.
As you saw, Michael and Aaron had a massive collection, so if any baseball teams or collectors are watching this, you want to help pitch in to restore their arsenal, call me, tweet me. Let's do this thing. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
I love a happy ending, and we need more of them.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Very cute.
I loved his little accent. Little sweetie. He's
Trout.
Trout. Oh, little cutie. How are y'all doing today?
Pretty good. They said he's from Mississippi. It's hot there today for sure.
Oh,
a
I
little
bet.
swampy.
And very swampy.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Hot here too, but that's just
That's life.
That's
Yeah, that's
regular
life. That's every day.
No surprises. However, the rain might surprise a few of us this afternoon, just like it did yesterday afternoon. It is very humid outside as you step out the door this Wednesday morning. 71 degrees for our dew points here in Austin, and even more muggy as you head over towards the east. 74 for the dew point in Corpus Christi. As for those temperatures, we're not too far away. We got 75 here in Austin at Camp Mabry, 73 in Lockhart, 72 for Johnson City as well as Fredericksburg out there. And we're seeing pretty dry conditions across most of the area. I do think what you're seeing over towards LaGrange and Fayette County, probably not hitting the ground just yet. Doesn't look like it's heavy enough for now. But as we head into the afternoon here, we're going to see this disturbance move onshore here past Houston, already giving way to some rain there, and maybe it even hitting Corpus Christi and portions of San Antonio as it moves inward. So as we head through the day, we're going to pick up those temperatures out of the 70s and head right on into the 90s for this afternoon. And of course, around 3 p.m., we're going to be watching for those isolated to scattered shower and thunderstorm activity. And then by 5 p.m., that's kind of where we'll see potentially some more widespread activity out there. But then after about 8 p.m., we'll start to see that nod off a little bit. And of course, we are expecting some dry conditions as we head overnight. So for those rain chances today, I know it didn't look like a ton, and it isn't really expected to be too much, but it could surprise a few of us, especially if you are along the I-35 corridor or out towards the east there, especially in the coastal plains regions. You guys are going to have that best chance for rain. I actually think that our hill country regions are probably not going to see any rain today. That 10% chance is honestly even probably less than a 10% chance. So most of us feeling the heat today if you're not going to see that rain out there. 93 for our high temperature today, and of course it is going to feel much hotter than that. This is a little bit cooler than what we saw yesterday because we are going to see more clouds this afternoon, as well as those minor chances for rain that we were just talking about. Heat index upwards of 100 degrees for the peak heating of the day, and over the next couple of days we are going to see those temperatures continue to climb upwards a little bit. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday trending in the mid to upper 90s rather than the mid to lower 90s. So here's that 7-day forecast for us. We're going to see a rinse and repeat for tomorrow. We still have some 20 to 30% chances for rain there on Thursday afternoon. By Friday, mostly dry across the area. And then as we trend towards next week, you'll see that those temperatures keep climbing upwards. And it does look like that we are tracking potentially some triple-digit heat close to the 4th of July next week.
I feel like it would just be weird if it wasn't triple digits by the 4th of July. But you know what? It is summertime in Texas nonetheless. And a couple of wonderful updates to share with the class here. So a little bit earlier, we were looking at a complete standstill in North Austin near North Lamar. That has cleared up. So you can see we are breathing again on both sides of the highway. Really looking a lot better out there. Things are still moving slow in South Austin, but that is the quickest that it has looked all day. So let's go ahead and take a look across the rest of the area. So still seeing a little bit of that stop and go northbound. Not too bad there. We're down to a little bit of debris following a crash earlier near Cesar Chavez, but just seeing minor slowdowns over the water there. But we do have a stalled vehicle, and that is on 183 at Montopolis there, and it's just impacting the service road. Minor slowdown, not too bad if you're picking anyone up from an early morning flight. Let's check in across the rest of the area. Good morning to my Texas State Bobcats. Looking good if you're traveling on I-35 from New Braunfels and San Marcos. And then once again, that stalled vehicle in North Austin cleared up, so things are looking a lot better as we are heading out the door there. Still seeing a slowdown, though, in the southbound lanes if maybe you're coming in from Jollyville or Cedar Park today, and that is at Riata Trace Parkway.
Wow, busy. Thank you, Hannah. Well, a Texas woman thought her cherished diamond ring was gone for good until a diver came to the rescue. The woman was at Possum Kingdom Lake, 2 hours west of Fort Worth, with her son's baseball team. Her ring, which is from 1910, oh my goodness, slipped off her finger. It is beautiful there. Well, after searching for hours, nothing turned up. She called in a professional diver to help that search. He had to wait out rough waters, but came back the next day and eventually recovered that ring. Oh,
it's probably shiny enough.
Oh,
that's, you know, like that funny Kim Kardashian thing where
R.I.P. to Kim's
diamond
earring.
Well,
they found it. They found it because it was so
really
big.
Is that the moment when they go, people are dying, Kim?
Yes.
And she's just crying. She's like, I buy my ears. You're like, people are dying.
People are dying.
But I will say those lakes out in Dallas, they're pretty hard to see through those. So I'm kind of amazed.
1910 also, that is just, that's an heirloom. You need to.
You have to find it. You're not going to stop searching for
So
that.
none of us have diamond rings yet. No, I'm kidding. But I kind of I want a vintage one like that, an old one.
Me too. That would be so beautiful. Something 1920s, kind of Art Deco vibe.
And when it's passed down, I feel like, it means something.
Oh yeah, I just actually, well, not on a kind of sad note, but it's okay.
Oh no.
My grandmother passed away a couple months ago, and I received actually her mother's rings.
Wow.
And the engagement ring actually doesn't have a diamond in it anymore. So I want to get it reset and maybe I'm actually wearing this one right now.
You are, yeah, that's your grandmother.
But yeah, there's another one that goes with that stack, and I want to get it kind of redone.
I love digging through my parents' closet and finding just little things. I know you do that with your mom.
I used to do that with my grandmother too. I actually, it's a funny story. I accidentally stole all of her jewelry when I was little, and I got caught.
Not the jewel thief.
I wrapped it all up in a little blankie that I had, and we were walking out the door at Christmas, and I said, "Bye, Grandma," and I dropped the blanket, and all of the jewels spilled out everywhere. So I'm known as the jewel thief now. Since that day, I was like 4 years old, but a learning lesson.
Yeah.
Maybe ask next time.
No,
they were really nice. It was just, I loved the antiques back then.
Yeah,
had a good taste.
I thought this was a personal closet. My bad.
I went shopping.
All right, y'all. Yelp released its list of the top 100 food trucks in the country. And no shocker here, goodness gracious, we've got so many good trucks. 9 Austin trucks made the list. Jim's Smokehouse took the number 2 spot. T-Lock, Sonoran Hot Dogs came in at number 8. Paprika ATX, Bodhi Viet Vegan, Ceviche 7, Buenos Sabores, Granny's Tacos, Favia's Kitchen, and Boteco also made the top 100. The top spot went to a truck called Tony's Catch in Hawaii. National Food Truck Day is this Friday, June 27th. But that's always the goal, is to eventually try to see these food trucks turn into local restaurants. We saw that with Torchy's, and there's a couple other spots that started small.
I didn't know that lore about Torchy's.
Oh, yeah.
It's so, I love when they can move up and get their whole storefront. That is so awesome to see. I know Jew Boys Sliders has a shop too, and I don't know if they started with the truck.
They're so good, those burgers.
So, the little sliders, if you haven't had those.
You got like the Sonoran hot dog place.
Ooh,
that's like right around the corner from the station. You got to go there.
Whoa.
I mean, just like a really good hot dog in the summertime.
Tis the season.
Yeah, can't beat it.
I can't beat it. We need a hot dog party next week. Okay. Oh, I think we're actually having one at work. Okay, guys. So we now know what this year's Major League Soccer All-Star jerseys look like. Okay, let's take a look here. All-Star. Okay, cute. Cute. All-Star festivities will take place at Q2 Stadium next month. There are plenty of ATX shout-outs. Ooh, I do like that. On this year's thread, starting with the letters ATX, you can find those and a bat. Last year, goalkeeper Brad Stuve, as we call him, Stuver, was open about his desire to play in the All-Star game.
I think I've been on the cusp of it for a few years now, and been extremely disappointed when I haven't gotten the call up to All-Star in previous years. So this year, just staying focused on the job at hand and trying to help the team get points, and hopefully at the end of the day, that individual accolade will come up.
He is just so wonderful as a player and a person. He's really poured into this Austin community. And in case you didn't know, Stuver is 3rd in saves and 3rd in shutouts. The All-Star roster will be announced later today, so we will find out if Stuver makes the team. And I will be shocked if he doesn't. He is just such a joy to watch. Have y'all both been to a game?
Yes.
No, I haven't yet.
Oh my
I know,
gosh,
I need to go. I want to go see Matthew McConaughey there, because I know he goes to some of them.
You love it. Ooh, you probably have a better chance at the UT games too.
That's
but,
true. I have seen him there from far away.
Yes, the hat, and then the leather jacket.
You always know.
You
but
do.
The Austin FC game sounds so fun. I feel like the energy, the excitement.
Yeah,
the Murga band.
Yes, go and stand on the band side,
yeah,
the fan side.
You might get drenched in beer, but
that's
it's part
what
of the
I heard.
experience.
I heard it's like a splash zone.
Oh, they go like this.
It's awesome.
La 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 ATX. So good, y'all. We're crazy. Okay, before we go, here are 3 things to know this morning. Austin police are looking for the person who shot and killed a 29-year-old man at a gas station in Southeast Austin. APD is set to give us more information about the case later this morning. So it happened early Sunday morning on Wickersham Lane near South Pleasant Valley Road. Austin police say they found 29-year-old Keaton Delacour shot in the neck in the parking lot of the gas station around 12:30 Sunday morning. When first responders arrived on the scene, they found Delacour bleeding on the ground. He was taken to the hospital and he died there. Investigators say a man approached Delacour. There was some kind of interaction, and then the unknown man shot him in the Apple Mart parking lot, left the area. We'll hear from Austin police this morning at 11:30, and now there is up to a $1,000 reward for any information that leads to that arrest.
Well, Lago Vista police are warning about the return of hammerhead worms after recent rain. The invasive worms can cause burning or itching if you touch them, so stay away, and they're toxic to pets and wildlife as well. Now, if you do happen to touch one, you should wear gloves. You can use salt or vinegar to kill them, and experts say you should not cut them. Interesting. Whoa.
Oh, that's kind of cool, though. Okay, tonight, the NBA will welcome in the next generation of talent, my Dallas Mavericks. They've got that first overall pick. Experts expect them to pick Cooper Flagg from Duke. San Antonio Spurs are projected to take Dylan Harper from Rutgers. And ESPN projects former Longhorn Trey Johnson will be selected 8th overall by the Brooklyn Nets. The Houston Rockets do not have a first-round pick. It was given to the Phoenix Suns as part of the deal for Kevin Durant. You can watch the first round of the NBA draft right here on KVUE starting at 7 p.m. So a little past our bedtime. Well, right at our bedtime, I guess. But
right at. Well, I'm going to be hanging out at, I think there's a little party at Armadillo Den later. I'm going to be there watching the
Oh, that's right. You're back on the night shift, aren't you?
Yeah, my weekend starts today. So
oh, look at her.
For your Grace Friday forecast, we do have a chance for some scattered thunderstorms a little bit later on this afternoon. That'll go for tomorrow as well. Not everyone will see rain, but it's possible that you will be surprised by a little bit, just like yesterday. And then as we head towards this next weekend, man, hot, humid, and dry.
Well, thank you so very much for joining us here on Daybreak Plus. You can join us again tomorrow at 7 a.m. and we'll see you there, and of course, starting at 4:30 a.m. We'll see you at the start of our show. Thank you.